All right. Today we're gonna do a little bit of a rabbit here. So this is really about more like blending colors as well as like how to create texture on a drawing. Um, like everything else, you're gonna start off smooth with a lot of colors and add texture later. So whether it's tree bark or whatever else, or a trunk of a tree or a house or grass, all the same thing. So right now I'm doing like medium glaze here. I'll put my recipe on the side here so I can see it. So this is a bad drawing, but that's okay. You'll get the idea though. So anyways, I'm doing a gray base. I'll go really heavy here. And because most of this wrap is gonna be gray, I'll go like kind of medium to heavy glaze here. So I'll go heavy glaze on this side. It's like a white section here. And all these lines that I have underneath, you should get rid of those. I'll do this one section of the rabbit. So I'm going a lot of small directions, different directions like this. I'm not doing one direction. Scumbling approach, going a lot of different spots here. And I can color it in a little bit. I'll just one little section here, and on the belly here, it's gonna be really dark. So I'll go ahead and go a heavy glaze down here. Not a heavy glaze, but like medium to heavy glaze on the bottom here. As they come up, it's gonna get a little bit lighter. And right now it looks like a drawing, it looks pretty bad. But then after a few layers here, and then the key is when you're doing this, is to have like a really crush it heavy glaze layer underneath the teeth. I'll go in here too. And this will be white right here. So even though it's gonna be white, I'm gonna go ahead and go a little bit gray here, but not as much. I'll go a heavier glaze down here on the bottom. Okay, so far it looks like a drawing. That's with gray only. Then I'll use a little bit of violet here. Not too much, just a little bit. So this is like a super light glaze of the violet. Give me some nice shadow colors. And then once again, go in different directions. I'm gonna go like a super smooth blend here, eventually. So all underneath the shadow area, I'm gonna have a little bit of purple. If you don't see the purple, you can exaggerate your colors. So if you don't see violet or whatever, you can add those in there. And when you crush it, it'll all make sense in a little bit. And once again, so far, it looks like a drawing. You can see all the pencil strokes. It's kind of a hot mess. We'll get rid of all that. So that's purple, violet. Now I'll use a little bit of brown, a tan color. So it's kind of like a burnt sienna or a sienna brown. I'll go over this a little bit. Not tons, but just a little bit. So I'm going another light glaze. This is another light glaze over here. I'll write down the recipe so I don't forget. So I would recommend practicing somewhere in your sketchbook so you can figure out the colors you want to use in the order you want to use them. Then in the shadow areas, I'll go a little bit heavier. Okay, now a little bit of brown on the bottom. Not too much though, just a little bit. Not a lot, baby girl. Just a little bit. Underneath the teeth, same thing. As you can see right now, so far it's like a total drawing. You can see all the pencil strokes, what have you, but it's okay because I'm going to blend it out like a lot here in a second. And here I got a little bit of black too. So a little bit of black going over this as well. When you crush it over with a heavy glaze, sometimes you might want to crush it with a gray, or sometimes you might want to crush it with a white. All those colors of brown, violet, black. Crush it in though; it'll all come together. In the shadow area here, I'm gonna go even like a thicker dark, like a medium glaze with the black. So medium glaze here. And I'm really concentrating on showing the light source on this thing, so it's like you can see where the light's coming from. You know, dark to light, what have you. Once again, this isn't really coloring a rabbit. It's more like how to shade in like a lot of different things. Okay, so now I got all the shading in there. So now I got the colors in there. I got purple, brown, gray, a little bit of everything. Now with the white, I'm gonna crush in the light area here. With this, I'm gonna crush in, when you do the heavy glaze, watch how small the strokes are. Super small strokes. Go in different directions, and it'll really take the color and then blend them all together, and it makes it almost into like paint. I'll go in here, and for the darker areas, I'm gonna crush it in with gray though. So this is like a white area, so I'll crush it in with white. And then here, you can see how it's crushing in the black and blending it all together. And now, once I have this white part done, it's like a little bit of the white crushing glaze. You see that like little tan in there. So now I'll crush this in with a gray though. So now with the gray, I'll do the same kind of pencil strokes, and watch how it turns it into from a drawing into like paint, which is kind of cool. These are like wax-based pencils, so they kind of melt each other together once you do a heavy glaze. Small strokes go in different directions. And as you can see now, it's starting to turn that in from a pencil drawing into like more like a color, oil pastels or like paint and what have you. Hopefully we can do the painting assignment. That'd be nice. And if so, a lot of these techniques kind of carry over. So small strokes, as you can see now, blend that together. And for the highlights, instead of crushing with gray, I'll even crush this in more with white. So I'll start like fading this out a little bit. After it's all smooth, I'll add the texture in later. So first it's gonna be all just smooth, and then I'll add texture. So you can start seeing the blend. The blend's looking smooth, very nice. Even though it's kind of a terrible drawing, you can see that doesn't really matter. And up here, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be pretty dark, so I'll crush this in with gray as well. Super small strokes. And right now, my pencil strokes go in this direction in general. So when I crush the heavy glaze, I'm actually going to go the opposite direction, to blend them together and to smooth it out a little bit. And if you go like small strokes, it'll like blend in really nicely. If you try to go big strokes, it won't work nearly as well. And I'll fade it out here in a second. Now I'm gonna go from a heavy glaze to a medium glaze, and I'll crush it with white. So right now, it's heavy glaze. Now I'm gonna start going a little bit lighter glaze. Still doing the smaller strokes, but you can still see the pencil strokes. That's because I'm not pressing as hard, not melting the colors together. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is go back in with a white, or maybe a cream color even. So here's a cream color, and I'll crush this in the highlight area. Different directions, small strokes. And you wanna make sure every area has like a really heavy glaze to it. And now it's a little bit too cream, so then I'll go back over it with white, crush this out as well. And this is also a heavy glaze. So now over here on this side, I'll do the same thing. Crush this, add a little bit more of the purple in there. Gray. And if you see the lines going one direction, once again, you want to go the opposite direction. So I'm going to go more sideways on this one. And once you're done, this could almost be done, just about anyways, for the step. I'm going to come in, it's a little bit too light down here on the bottom, so I'll go with the medium glaze with gray. Shade this in a little bit. This is medium glaze. Once you have a heavy glaze, you don't want to go too many heavy glazes on top of each other because then they'll start like lifting, which is a fancy way of saying peeling off. More heavy glaze on the gray over here as well. Okay, so now it's all nice and smooth, nice blending. And so now what we'll do is add some texture to it. So with the texture, you could add, like if it was a tree, you might want to add dark brown. So I'm gonna go in here and it's like really small strokes on top of the dark layer. And I'll add some texture to it. You see the texture in there? So here, same thing. And then after I'm done with the texture, I'll go back in with the gray and soften them up a little bit. I'll add some bigger chunks in here as well, so not just all the same texture. You want to avoid like a pattern. So it's like I'm gonna do a little bit of texture on there. And then to get rid of that texture so it doesn't look like a pencil drawing, I'll go back in and do it with gray again. So super small strokes. Starting to get the texture in there, the little fur action. But now it looks like a pencil drawing again. So you can see all the pencil strokes in there that I have. So now I'll go in here with a gray and I'll go really light glaze, just enough to phase it out just a little bit, just to blend it. Not tons. I'm gonna leave a lot of the texture showing. I don't want to blend it out too much. Small strokes again. I'll go over it more in this area. Let some of the dark areas show through. And lightly blend. So this is how you do fur, or like I said, almost anything. So first smooth, and then after you go smooth, you want to add texture, then blend out the texture a little bit using the pencil strokes. I'll be showing you it. If you want to know how to do something else, once again, go to upload on the assignment page on Magic, where it says Magic Shows, and tell me what you want to learn. Show me the reference. I'll show you how to draw it pretty simply. I'm going super light though, so my strokes are about like this. Super light, so it's not really heavy brush strokes at all. Kind of like painting. And for that, I did the texture. So the texture was kind of like this, skinny lines, little marks in there. I'll draw those out so I remember how I did them. So if you look up close, you can kind of see the pencil strokes in there. Oh, they got the fur, but started off blended. I think got smoother and smoother later.